Howdy everybody, this is Tales of the Deep. I'm your host Tim, and today we're talking about our favorite fat man, our favorite stick of fried butter, Pudge. So let's get our leopard print on and call our pimp, cause we're going hooking. Alrighty, so let's kick things off with starting items. Sometimes you're going to have to support, and that's okay, especially if you're roaming. So maybe buy yourself a ward for your mid so you know what you're getting yourself into, and hope that for some reason you're not also buying a courier. After that, we want to get a little regen so we can get 3 hooks off instead of 2, and stay in lane for a little bit longer. And then we want to start working on movement speed, because he is not the fastest chip off the old block, but lucky for us, he's pretty good at enticing other people to come visit. What does it mean to be confused? To be rigorously confused is the optimal way to play Pudge. Now, what is confused? Confused is constantly occupying non-visioned, utilizable space to execute destruction. So, remember, as you play Pudge, you always want to be confused. For instance, even in this situation, you want to be out of vision when you hook, so there's as little a window as possible to react.
Ooh, Morty, can you smell that salty blood that just got first spilled?
Also, make sure to compliment the other team if they happen to be doing very well at being confused, especially if they're playing Pudge. And with the new ability to hook runes and with those successful hooks replenishing their spent mana, this kind of stuff is often unacceptable. A lot of the time you're going to be wanting to use your abilities for good, to try and save your friends and teammates. Quite often this is a great way to let others know that you're proactive, taking them out of situations you deem them unsafe. Though it usually won't work, you can say that at least you tried to help. Sadly, there will be many times you know you're about to die and have to use your abilities to mitigate losses as best you can. Hopefully it isn't to save another from death, only for them to die 5 seconds later. Most of the time you feel unsafe, you'll be staying back, waiting to have to rescue a teammate, and every once in a while you won't have the mana to do so. So, pick yourself up and move right on. Now onto our items. Pudge is a utilitarian hero commonly built with ganking and team fights in mind. That said, after making sure you have the regen to stay in lane, Tranquils is rarely a bad item to go first. It helps Pudge recover from rot and is a great set of boots for roaming. Then, in this game we went Urn into Spirit Vessel. One, because both are superb at helping get a lot of sustainability and damage in quickly for the early game. Second, because we never bought a Spirit Vessel before. We did learn though, that if gotten early enough, it can be downright crazy. Also, we noted that it will reduce enemy healing by 70% while it's active, so we'll keep that in mind for when we see heroes like Alchemist or Io on the other team in the future. After Vessel we went Pipe of Insight. It helps everyone against half of their team, but mostly we went Pipe for selfish reasons because we wanted the damage reduction and regen for rot. Then, and possibly a little too late for preference, we went Aether Lens, and we did that because there were too many hooks missed without it, and it helps add just that little bit extra that'll hopefully get us some nice hooks later. Admittedly, a lot of evidence points to Ags being the better choice here, especially with us entering the later part of the game, and with teamfights being more common and longer lasting, but we didn't think of that. After that, we got a gem, because it doesn't counter any of their heroes and because their team is crazy, and 3 of their players got Shadow Blades. We died with the gem quickly enough after, but Storm made sure to pick it up, and with him having the fewest deaths on the team, we checked, we gladly let him hold on to it. Finally, we got Blade Mail and Heaven's Halberd to combat LC, who'd begun to get out of control, and Boots to travel to PTFO and get us our megas. Tips. The number one tip I can give on Pudge, especially to players that don't have a lot of experience with skill shot heroes, is to not be afraid to miss your hook. Even pros sometimes miss their hooks. It's a given. Don't beat yourself up over them. So keep sending those hooks out while trying to improve. A good way to do this is through a practice lobby. You may send out 40 or 50 hooks in a game, but that's 40 plus minutes. You could send that many out in 3 or 4 minutes in a private lobby. Second tip is to learn the hitbox of your hook. When you send out your hook, instead of thinking of a small line, think of a surprisingly wide arrow that'll take the first thing back it hits. So don't always aim to hit the center of your target. Sometimes you have to aim a little off and hit them with the corner of your arrow to make sure you don't hook any creeps. Finally, and this is why Pudge is such a strong hero, I'd say the most important thing about playing Pudge is knowing where you're supposed to be and when. So always be paying attention to the map to see where people are headed, make sure you always carry a TP, and always be moving to where you're supposed to be.
Let's get into it.
Wiggle of a dub-dub!
And there we have it. And our end screen, where we somehow managed to get the highest GPM in the game despite playing Pudge. Guess taking that inexcusable 180 GPM talent at level 20 paid off. Well, sort of. All in all, though, if we look, we ended with a higher kill participation than EA had on the Star Wars fanbase because we were involved in 84.6% of the kills our team got. All the while, we had a guy getting abandoned by getting a power outage and being gone for 15 minutes. No hard feelings, though. He did his best when he came back, and that's what matters. It's been fun, and tune in next time when we talk about the high seas or garlic or something.
Alrighty, well, that's pretty much it. That's about all I wanted to say. Thank you for watching. If you want to like and subscribe, no idea what that'll do. First video, but I believe that'll be in that area somewhere. Thank you, DaVinci, for creating a video editing program that didn't cost me an arm and a leg just to see if I could do it. Thank you, all of you. Take it easy. Bye.